Erica Graffeo, and this is What's It Worth, the show that travels around the country to give real classic car enthusiasts who have real classic cars, like the ones you have, honest and genuine information about the history and true market value of their car. So you finally found that car you used to drive in high school. You think you paid a fair amount for it, put in hours of blood, sweat, and tears to get it in shape, and now you're wondering if you made the right decision. Was it money well spent or money just down the drain? Well, our industry experts will come in and meet our car owners and give them the straight dope, no holds barred. Honest and informed opinions that will make them either very, very happy or very, very sad. So, what's it worth?
It's a 67 Mustang Coupe. The car got a 289, a hay coat with a bigger carb on it. So the car got disc brakes. It's a lime green, which is the first green on Mustang in '67. The car was totally restored like 2-3 years ago. I just bought the car to export it in Europe for a customer. And now the guy find another car over there in Europe, so I have to keep the car right here in California, which is better to drive and enjoy the sun.
Well, let's send it back to Erica and the experts and see what the car is really worth.
So what do you think, Steve?
Well, we finally get a Mustang up here on the chopping block.
I'm a Ford guy myself.
I like the car, but it does need a few things. The paint's a little weak. I don't think this is the original paint, and I'm not real happy on the pin line, and I know you weren't either.
Yeah, something like that. If I purchased a car with a pinstripe like that, I know it's painted on, but I don't think I'd sleep at night before a thing was off.
I did notice that he's missing the air conditioning compressor. On a hot day like today, I'd certainly have that on and working, especially the fact that it's a coupe and it was a factory air conditioning car. I also noticed that the intake manifold is the wrong year. Although it is an A-code 4-barrel car from the factory, he does have the 4-barrel on it. Intake manifold, like I said, dated the wrong year, and it's a Holly instead of the Autolite that it should have on it. I like that he still has some of the Paint OK stickers from the factory on here. That's a sweet little added bonus there.
Definitely a rarity. I agree with you about the air. Everyone knows when you got a hardtop car and you're trying to sell it in the summertime, if it doesn't have air, it's going to be a tough sale. And the same thing goes for a convertible car. In the wintertime, it's hard to sell convertibles. No one's really thinking about riding around with the top down. But I do like the fact that he's got the original factory air. You can tell by this hole here. A lot of people will make this hole for the condenser, and they'll do it with a saw or anything like that. You can tell by the bend on it here that it's been stamped out, which is the way that it came from the factory.
What did you think about the paint?
Well, paint looks good on the sides, but for some reason, anything facing up, it seems to have worn a little thin. Starting here in the hood, again on the roof, and it looks like you can start to see it's happening on the trunk area as well.
This car has a couple of special things, like the original jacking instructions. That's real nice to see there. And the dates that you see here means that this sheet metal's never been removed. Real hard to get these Mustangs that haven't been smacked up in the back here. This is a real straight car in the trunk. And you can see the factory Ford runs here.
A lot of people don't know that when you're restoring a car, sometimes you can make it too perfect and make it look like it shouldn't have come from the factory. As you can see here, that's a factory spray, and there's nothing perfect about it. It's kind of heavy in the middle, it's a little bit light on the sides, but it's definitely functional. And that's what happens when a real human being does things and not like a machine of today's cars.
Let's take a look at the interior.
I love the fact that Ford definitely had the intuition to see that the stainless steel and the brushed aluminum look was never going to go anywhere. These kind of options are really popular with tuner cars today. I also like the fact that not a lot of Mustangs came with the overhead console. It's definitely a rare option. Comes with the 2 map lights, and again, only the deluxe trim is going to have the brushed aluminum look on the inside there. Someone's definitely kept it in great shape.
Hi, so I'm here now with Jerry and his 1967 Mustang, correct?
Right.
How long have you had it?
Oh, like about 3 weeks now.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
So you just bought it?
I just bought it for a customer actually in France.
So you came all the way from Europe to here and bought this car?
Just right,
I
yeah.
really hope you made a good investment. Okay, so Jerry flew all the way in from Europe to buy this car, so please, guys, have some nice news for him. What you got?
Well, overall, it's a nice looking car. We did figure out why the paint was so weak on the top of the roof here. It's because it used to be a vinyl top car.
So this used to be vinyl and
It had a vinyl top on
Yes.
it.
did you know that?
No, not really.
New information.
Good to hear, yeah, good information.
Okay.
The sign says it's a 2-owner car, and you can really believe it by the interior.
Well, I'm curious as to what, since you just bought it, what did you pay for it 3 weeks ago?
I paid the car like 11.
11?
3 weeks ago, yeah.
3 weeks ago, $11,000, guys.
For something like this, for you to buy this for 11, probably less than $1,000 in it, you could definitely turn around and sell it for a few grand more. That's for sure. Definitely pay for your trip out here.
Okay,
Without
you guys.
a doubt.
And
With
what's your
something like this,
pricing?
I'm thinking do the vinyl roof, do the air conditioning, and you got a $14,000, $15,000 car here, no problem.
wow, I'm gonna have to say for once I agree with you.
Now, in this segment, we're going to do something a little special. We're going to bring in our artist, Don Vierstra, and he is actually going to sketch a version of the 72 Charger, completely customized in his mind, and then we'll show it to our owner. Maybe he can take a few tips from that and improve upon his own stock Charger here.
I decided to do this Charger as a resto mod. I started with some basics and added some custom body parts, modern suspension, brakes, rims, and tires. I also added two-tone custom paint with accents and some cool graphics. I like to give my car visions a one-of-a-kind look. If the owner implements my vision, this 72 Charger will no doubt be worth over $30,000.
It's a 1958 Impala, factory 348 with tri-power, factory Onyx Black. I got it from the third owner. It's built in Los Angeles. It's always been in Southern California. It's a nice rust-free car. I have an idea what it's worth, but it'd be nice to see what an expert says, sure.
All right, looks like we got a 58 Impala here. Seems to be pretty nice from the outside. Let's take a look starting from the trunk. First thing I noticed in the trunk, it looks like he has an original radio to replace the aftermarket one in the dash there.
Now, this is the kind of stuff in this price range I don't like to see. Non-matching tire, not cleaned up, not painted, just kind of hanging here right over that original radio that's probably irreplaceable.
I'm also noticing the upholstery in the interior. It looks like a lot of carpeting went into this thing, a lot of glue and carpet in here. It would be nice if you're trying to sell a vehicle to have some kind of even though it does look nice with this upholstery in here, there's no way to check for any rust or anything in here, which might scare away a potential buyer.
Considering this is not the original pile of the carpeting. This is an aftermarket kit that someone's put in here, and that's usually either to hide something or make a prospective buyer think that you're hiding something. Up in the trunk area here, it looks really good. A little bit more detailing in this trunk area in this kind of price range. Let's go to the interior.
Let's see what we got in here.
Wow.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, this is the carpeting that should be in the trunk. The looped pile with the sewn seams, not that cut pile aftermarket stuff. That's something that I'm really not liking on the car.
Usually what someone will use that carpet for, it's a bit more inexpensive than the loop carpeting. But if you've ever tried to drill a hole in loop carpeting for any kind of maybe you're putting in an extra seat belt latch or something like that, you definitely know that anytime you stick a drill in there, all you're going to do is grab a one of those loops and pull it right the way to the end. Makes a real ugly line in your carpet.
The interior on this thing's real clean. I like the kind of mod type upholstery setup he's got there. And the dash, except for the aftermarket radio, is looking really good.
Yeah, I can't really take too many points off for the radio. Again, the guy's got the original sitting in the trunk there. One of the things I am noticing right off the bat, though, is they never usually are working anymore. The clock doesn't seem to be keeping the right time. Well, at least it's only right twice a day.
Good job on the interior overall, though. I like it.
Very nice.
Oh, it's a tri-power car. Oh, I smell gas. Good-looking engine compartment, except for once again we have these non-period batteries. On a car this old in this price range, you really got to add the details that separate your car from the other guys. The non-period battery thing and the gas smell. The gas smell's got to go. Looks like it might be leaking some gas here from the tri-power lines. It's too strong. It's too strong. It's going to scare someone away, and it would scare me to drive the thing with that much gas smell going on.
I pretty much like the engine compartment myself. The engine is not a matching numbers engine. Looking at the corresponding numbers on the block there and on the VIN, it's definitely not the correct motor for the car. And looking at this overflow thing here, this definitely doesn't look like something from the 50s either. Also noticing no power steering or power brakes or anything like that, which won't probably concern a real buyer, but sometimes someone who's looking for something to cruise is going to be looking for something like air conditioning, power steering, and power brakes, especially with a car that's probably weighing close to 6,000 pounds. I think it looks pretty good. I'm done looking here. I think we're ready for Erica.
Okay.
So I'm here with David here in his 1958 Impala, correct?
Correct.
I have to say, from my point of view, loveliest car I've seen today. It's really breathtaking. I love it. I guess we'll bring our experts in and find out what it's really worth. Looks like a
Okay.
lot to me. I don't know. Guys, you ready?
Yeah, let's find out if this is worth 100,000. Which it isn't, but
I hope so.
Good to meet you.
good to meet you. too.
David,
I'm Howard.
is our
Nice to meet
experts.
you.
Howard. Yeah.
Guys looked it over.
We looked it over. Now, this is the car that you traded for 69 Z28.
Documented Z28, yeah.
Okay. Risky trade, but may have paid off for you.
I can see that looking at the block ID here that it's not a matching numbers car, which might be kind of a ding to the car. But again, with something like this, with it in
It is
such
a
great
matching
shape,
numbers.
it's probably not going to be such a big deal.
You don't agree with?
No, that is
that?
matching numbers.
Oh, I can see.
It's HA, which is tripod. That is too matching numbers car. H is
Seems to be a
torque
dispute
flight,
here with the
and
owner
A
and the
means
expert.
tripod. HA.
The HA, I'm not doubting that the motor is correct. I'm trying to say that the motor, the identifying numbers on the motor aren't correct as for the identifying numbers on the VIN. Which, if it was a matching numbers on the VIN here, you can see
This is getting good.
your VIN is ending with a 161827. So as long as you can see any form of a 161 or an 827,
No, they didn't have a
underneath-
VIN number in 58. And you got the body
On
number.
there.
You got the body number right here. Right here, look.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to have
Right
some
there.
form of a body number
right
on
there.
there.
Right there. 1246. It's right there. No, it is right. It's the correct motor. Believe me. The date's correct. Everything's correct on it.
I can't see it, but if you say it is, it is.
No, it is.
Huh?
It's
Hey,
right here.
If you say it is, it is. I can't see it myself.
It's right.
Maybe I got bad eyes.
It's
That's
right
going
there.
to determine
I
my
can see.
price.
I can see a number.
Whether
here.
he's right or he's right is
No,
going to
look.
determine my price.
right here.
Non-matching
37,
number
I got
and
a
matching number
22.5 HA.
No, right
is
here.
a difference between night and day on something like this. I'm going with him so far, but he's supposed
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean,
the
they're
expert.
trying to say. I'm not trying to say that it's not a tri-power car.
No. It does have the body number on it. It's there. It's stamped on the bottom. It does have the corresponding body number on it. No, it's there.
Okay, so we're going to go with the numbers
it is,
matching car
yeah.
on our appraisals then?
I'm not saying it's a matching numbers car. No, I'm not going
Okay.
to say that.
Well, it is.
He's going to assume that it's not. I'm going to assume that it is.
It
We're going
is,
to go
yeah.
with the price.
For a vehicle in this shape, with the condition it's in and with the parts that it's gone on it, I would go as high as to say it's worth as much as the mid-40s, maybe even close to low 50s. Finding a buyer for it might be difficult, but definitely a replacement value of this type of vehicle is going to be in the lower 50s, that's for sure.
I'm going at 48, and I think it's an easy sell at that price, simply because it's got eyeball, it's all there, and I'm thinking that possibly the number matching is correct, and 48 all day long, easy sell, beautiful car.
Well, that's all we have today here in Long Beach. Look for us next week. You never know, we might be in your town at your local car show. So check us out. Maybe you can find out what your car is really worth.